Everyone, we are coming to you live via Facebook streaming and also via YouTube streaming and also via Skype online. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming. Desires are dreams. Desires are dreams. There is a power within that knows beyond our knowings. We are not aliens, nor as strangers joined. We are bound to each other by a causeless force. Everyone you meet, share your being, share your love, share your understanding. Because we are not separate from one another. In one way or the other, the meeting is for a specific reason, and we are bound to each other by a causeless force that we do not understand why we come in contact with this person. Everyone has something good to give. William Shakespeare says, "None so vile upon this earth that we live. None so vile upon this earth that we live. Everyone has something good to give." The difference of degrees, but everyone has something good to give. We must understand this and live our life. Let this be your life. Let this be your resolution, now and forever. Our desires and thoughts are synonyms. It is the desire, it is the dreams, the desires that constantly plague our inner serenity, our harmony, and our peace. Desires are dreams. All our thoughts are dreams. And as an individual, we go on living in dreams because we are asleep. And a master is your wakefulness. He is a constant reminder. He wakes you up whether you like or not. He shakes you from your deep slumber so that you can wake up. You can see the light on your own. But we go on continuously living in dreams because we are asleep. Dreams can exist only in sleep. And there is a word daydreaming. Even in the day we are sometimes, most of the times, dreaming. Dreams can exist in our sleep as well as wakeful sleep. Dreams disappear the moment awakening comes or you are awake. Going beyond dreams means you are coming to a state of awakening. It is time. Enough, you have slept for many lives. You do not know whether tomorrow will come or not. This moment is enough. Let us wake up to our innerness, wake up to bliss. And do not miss this opportunity to wake up, because waking is a rare opportunity. To wake up from deep sleep or slumber is a rare opportunity, and to miss this is very easy. You can miss it very easily. So put your whole efforts, your whole energy in waking up. In the beginning, this seems to be impossible. Someone has said that as a New Year's resolution, she thought of starting a morning walk on the 1st of January. It is a cold winter morning. You are tucked in your comforter. Time to get up. On the next thought, she thought that a Punjabi New Year begins on Vaisakhi Day in April. Punjabi New Year begins because according to Gregorian calendar, the New Year begins on 1st of January. According to Hindus, it begins sometimes in March. And according to Sikhs, it is on Vaisakhi Day. So with this thought, she tucked herself in the comforter and went back to sleep. This is how we live our life. In the beginning, it is almost impossible, and you wonder how to do it. And there is every possibility that you go on postponing. But if one goes on trying, certainly it will happen one day. In sleep, one tosses and turns, but if one goes on tossing and turning, it is bound to disrupt sleep. And just a moment of glimpse, just a moment's glimpse of being awake is enough to trigger a new process in your being. Process of awakening, process of blossoming. When sun rays fall on the flower, its buds, the buds begin to open its petals. This is the process of waking up. Waking up from deep slumber. The bud was sleeping. It was in a dream state, whether I will become a flower or not, whether my beauty and fragrance will attract anyone or not. This is how the human being thinks. But the buds, the flowers never think. The only concern is, as soon as the opportunity comes, I must wake up from deep slumber. And then what happens? That is not my doing. That will happen on its own. That is the concern of the existence. A new process has been triggered off. Once this happens, more and more flowers blossom. Your inner flowering will begin. Once this happens, then more and more moments of awakening will arrive. And then one day, you become fully awakened. 24 hours a day. Every moment a circumstance and situation comes in. And when you are 100% awake under all circumstances and situations, then it becomes a way of your life. Then not even death can disturb you. Nothing can disturb you. Because you know the life is transitory. Every moment is transitory, and what happens in the moment is also transitory. But we think too much of financial losses, this loss or that loss, and remain engrossed into it. And we do not live the blissfulness of the moment. And then one day you become fully awake, 24 hours a day. Even while one is asleep, one remains alert and awake. The body may sleep, but the soul never sleeps. And you are guided by your innerness, your soul. When one is capable of being awake 24 hours a day, then when the body is resting, only then one should feel contented. When body is resting and there is something awake deep within, that is the moment of rest. The body is resting, only then one should feel contented. You have arrived home. Before that, make every possible effort that you can. Do not leave any stone unturned. any opportunity to be awake. But we live in desires. Desires means discontentment. Desire means whatsoever is not right, not enough, therefore more is needed. And desire is never fulfilled. One comes followed by another. It's like a chain reaction. Mirza Ghalib says, हजारों ख्वाहिशें ऐसी कि हर ख्वाहिश पे दम निकले. बहुत निकले मेरे अरमान, लेकिन फिर भी कम निकले. हजारों ख्वाहिशें ऐसी, thousands of desires are such, हर ख्वाहिश पे दम निकले. Every desire has something in it. It cannot be fulfilled. That is its very nature. You can have as much desires as you wish, but the moment you have it, desire goes on jumping ahead of you. It starts asking for more. Desire by nature is greedy. Its greed knows no limit. Desire implies unlimited, infinite greed. It's like the horizon that looks so close, but you can never reach it. You think you can reach it within an hour if you run, within a few minutes, but you cannot reach it. The distance between you and the horizon remains the same. How much you travel, it does not matter, but the distance between you and the horizon remains the same. Constantly the same because there is no horizon. Horizon is an illusion. The earth is not meeting with the sky anywhere. It only appears to be. Beautiful sign, and we remain engrossed into it. So is the case with the human desires. It only appears that if I could reach to that point, I could attain to this or that, there would be contentment. But the moment you attain to that, desire jumps ahead of you. You think that when I attain, get to this person, I'll be happy, life will be blissful, I would be fulfilled. But it never happens. One has to understand the nature of desiring and its futility as well. In understanding its nature, the futility becomes known to you. In that very understanding, the desire disappears and one is left at home in deep, overflowing bliss or peace. When there is no desire, disturbance is not there anymore, because desire is the only disturbance. Desire is the only disturbance. When desires have gone, there is tremendous silence within. In that silence, you become aware of the presence of your innerness, presence of God that you call. And that alone is fulfilling. That fulfills because it brings infinite joy and bliss. It fulfills because it brings something of the beyond, something which cannot be taken away from you, not even death can take away, something that cannot be taken away from you, something that is inexhaustible, and something which is beyond death. It opens the doors of the kingdom of God. It is your kingdom because you are not separate from God, and God is not separate from you. Both you and God, you and existence, you and totality, whatever name you may want to call it, but God is the easiest name acceptable. But the moment we think of God, we think of someone who looks like you, a human being. And both are not separate, they are two sides of the same coin. But you are facing you, not even you do not know which side you are facing. So your work has to be understood, desiring, and in that very understanding, desires drop. You need not renounce it, just understanding its nature, and in that very nature, desire slips out of your hand. You are not to renounce it, you are not to repress it, because if you repress it, it will come back again and again with a bang. If you renounce it, it will follow you till eternity. It will remain in your blood. It is only through deep understanding that it disappears. It drops on its own. And there is a beauty when it disappears on its own, it drops. And then suddenly the spring of bliss. Suddenly the spring of bliss spills into your being. Joy overflows. The inner beauty manifests in the outer world. Your life becomes a benediction. Whatsoever you do, whatsoever you move, your innerness manifests through it. Through life's corridors, your innerness, your inner beauty manifests. Only this much for this morning. Until tomorrow, take care and do have a pleasant day.